of the National Football League. And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Saints.
It's the National Football League presented by EA's battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
marching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. No 25. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm. For the NFL draft, a quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing right away is Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. They run it again with Kamara. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Jameis to throw it. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. From the red zone now, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Falcons will take over here at their own 12-yard line. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, There are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 12-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Falcons at 3 and 4 on the year coming into play. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 19 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blow, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
On first down, going back to Patterson. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Mariota so nimble, sliding to the ground with a first down. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 46 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. Well, they've got a new set of downs here. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And Mariota going to run on the option.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Up the middle, it's Williams. And they've got it in the red zone now, down about the 19. A sizable gain there of 9 yards, but it's still 3rd and long.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. On 4th down, Mariota is off, and on comes Atlanta's Younghoe Koo. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as you're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. Down to the 42, 2nd down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 58 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a 1st down for the Falcons. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They stay on the ground this time. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. To throw is Mariota. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Koo knocks this one through the post, and they're able to double their lead in this 1st half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a 1st down. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs.
They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Winston. Ebron caught left side. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 36, Winston. That's Olave bringing in another one. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Here's Winston. Olave holds it in. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Jameis again. The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Winston. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Winston. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Man, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. They're by the wayside on that one.
They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. When the Falcons defense stands tall, they'll get the football back. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Meanwhile, Winston throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Throwing, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Ebron with it over the middle. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now Winston. And that is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing, Mariota. Throw left side complete. That's Edwards. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Mariota. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patterson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
He's had success running the football. This is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
They'll run with Patterson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Mariota now. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. Aaron Rodgers, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Ryan Tannehill, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, a very good performance as his guys run their record now to 5-2. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've got the lead as they begin this drive 1st and 10, trying to forget about that loss last week to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second half will start with a run by Patterson.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mariota on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. 103 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. Mariota so nimble, sliding to the ground with a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Runs over him. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First and 10, it's Patterson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter.
But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 25. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here we go with Williams. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. 4th and short, got a whole lot more than he bargained for. He almost scored.
Yeah, how about that? Because you know how it is when you get all those bodies near the line of scrimmage. You often get engaged by blockers, and you can't get your hands on the ball carrier. And he breaks free, and he goes almost the distance.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Algier going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal. Mariota. Touchdown, Falcons. Andy Janovich. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll look to run for him with Williams. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Winston's throw caught by Olave. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. Jameis to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Credit that sack to D'Angelo Malone. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks in the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. He completes it to Olave. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. Short little throw to Ebron.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
Winston now. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Winston.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
If this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen, here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Winston. This is caught. Touchdown, Saints.
Alvin Kamara.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints get a bit closer. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Extra point put through by Suckup, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So out come the Falcons now.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. 1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
just shy of the 30. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a 1st down.
Now, that was a designed run. Now, remember, if a quarterback goes feet first, he's protected. But if he dives head first, he's not. On that play, he figured the risk was worth the reward.
counter. Here's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
On first down, going back to Patterson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The busy night continues for Williams.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. And we've got them now.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Damian Williams.
His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Koo now for the point after.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it was all capped off by the Damian Williams touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Winston now to throw on first down.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. Looking deep here for Ebron. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the option to give to Williams here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. This one swung out to Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Mariota on 3rd and 2. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
We have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. And meanwhile, Winston's looking for Olave, and he's got him. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Winston. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. To throw is Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Eric Ebron, 31 yards. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And here now come the Falcons. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Williams. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Out there, a jumbo package look. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. Mariota with a knee to the ground, and that should be it. A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way. But you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much too.
So for Atlanta, they're back to 500 as they move to 4-4 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
it.